Good morning. Welcome. My name is Brian. We welcome you back. We do have some new folks, and there might be some that are going to be coming and going as well, depending, alrighty? So we'll just kind of go around the room, do some introductions again, just make sure everybody knows who's here. And as the way that the forum kind of goes is it's kind of an open forum. We'll do the dog and pony show. We'll kind of show some things. Then if you have questions, we respond. Like it's not just a straight presentation, okay? So we encourage the questions. We encourage the ideas. And if we have ideas and like, wow, that's a good idea, we'll write it down. Shannon right here is going to be kind of like our organizer, if you will. Her name is Shannon, and I'll let her introduce herself. But basically, she's responding to people who are online, who are participating, and also she'll be recording notes, just like different things throughout the time. So not everything that you say, but like if you have good ideas or good things like that, we're recording it so that we can basically come back on it and make that happen, okay? Awesome. My name is Brandon. I've been with Adilas since 2001, and it's been a heck of a journey, and I've had a lot of fun, and so it's been really fun. When we first started, I worked in this teeny itsy-bitsy little office. It literally was the size of a shack, and they were running their accounting department out of this thing, and it was kind of funny. I had this teeny little office in there, and pretty soon I started working from home, and it was just much better, and but it's kind of funny just I remember, Steve, do you remember that teeny little building? It was teeny. We actually worked for a dealership at the time. It was a car dealership, and it was right in the middle of a sales lot. So you had all these vehicles and trailers all around you. But that's where we kind of started this little thing, was out of this teeny little shack thing. So, good stuff. Awesome. Steve, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourself, and then we'll just kind of pop around the room here, and we'll get started, all righty?
I'm Steve Burke-Cutter, and I've been working with Brandon since the inception, I guess you could say, of Adilas. So welcome everybody. We're glad to continue to put on these training seminars monthly, with the exception of December. I think, or
we missed November and December
for all holidays, but it's been a lot of fun getting everybody together and getting a lot of good ideas. And anyway, but welcome everybody.
We'll be using Steve today throughout the day to kind of help with different presentations and different things. A master user right here, so we'll definitely be having him jump in here and play a little bit. So, and this is kind of a fun part for us. Steve's actually been playing in the development side as well. Like originally, way back a long time ago, he used to be the techie one for the auto dealership industry. And a lot of things that they were doing at that time was on spreadsheets. And the one who was building on the spreadsheets was Steve. And he's kind of in charge of all the sales for Adilas and stuff like that. But he's been dipping more and more and more into the kind of the code side of it, and he's creating custom interfaces and custom little connections and packages. And later on today, we'll actually be showing you some other stuff that Steve's actually been the developer on it. So we're really excited about that because he's kind of playing some dual roles there. Awesome, Shannon. Let's go here.
I'm Shannon Moore, also from Northern Utah. I'm Brandon's sister. And as he mentioned, I'm just here to help facilitate the online portion. So if you guys have any questions or I can help you with anything, I would love to.
Awesome. Just so you know, Shannon has been working with Adilas for about a year, but I could put her up here and say, teach a subject, and she could jump on it. She is sharp, okay? Like when you first get into Adilas, it might take a little bit of a but once you get it and you learn the flow, things become very similar in all the different areas, and you're able to kind of start to mixing and blending. So it'll be really fun. You'll enjoy it. All right? Awesome. Let's go over here.
Can I make a quick comment really quick? The people online, if you could just speak up a little bit because it's so far away from the mic, then they can hear you better. So if when you're talking out loud in class, if we could get you to maybe tone it up a notch, that'd be great. Thank you.
Awesome.
My name's Anita, and I'm from the Connect.
Awesome. And Anita was actually at a training in last April as well with her and some of her other partners and such. Thanks, Anita. Perfect.
My name is Cora, and I'm also from the Connect.
Awesome. We have kind of front end and back end. They're kind of doing, one's receiving and one's kind of doing some of the selling, and so they're going to, a lot of what they do is kind of primarily straight retail oriented type stuff. So that's good. Awesome. Right here behind us. Let's go right here. Yep. Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you from, Nicole?
Where am I from?
Yep.
Sure.
From Denver. Nice. Which industry are you with?
The medical marijuana
Okay, great. Sounds good. We have a number of folks, especially here in Colorado, so there's a high concentration of that. And so some of our training class will be flavored towards that because that's who's here at the class. And so we will flavor it towards that. All righty? Perfect. Thanks, Nicole.
I'm Alicia.
Alicia.
With J Medicals and Higher Health Medicals.
Okay.
With St.
Awesome. Great. Welcome, Alicia. Good to have you.
And I'm Jane, and I'm with Alicia and Nicole.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
Sharon, I was here yesterday. Hi, everybody was here yesterday.
Hi, Sharon.
Awesome, Anita. Good call. We love it. Blake, let's go to you.
M&M Pool Specialist. We're a concrete construction company. We do mainstream pool remodels and new builds. So this is my first week on with the company. I'm trying to expand their business and grow their customer base. And they currently use Adilas, so I'm trying to get integrated in the system so I can move forward with their operations.
Awesome. Blake, we're excited. And once again, pass on my hellos to Drew, all righty? Good stuff. Awesome. Right back there.
My name's Carol. I'm Lynn Ellis. We did give me a chance to join medical marijuana corporation.
Okay, great. Carol, please ask questions. And if you're like, okay, I see that, but what does it do? Keep asking that next question. Where does it go? Because sometimes we focus on just the operation parts of it, which is kind of the day-to-day grind. But technically, if you do something in Adilas, it has a cause and effect relationship. So keep asking that next question. Where does it go? We'd love to hear that from you, okay?
Yeah, it's a lot different than the accounting software, like, QuickBooks.
It is, and just straight up, it was built on a different model. Our original goal was not to be an accounting package. Our original goal was to be an operations package, and then all of a sudden, as we do day-to-day operations, we end up with your accounting numbers. And so it had a totally different original goal, and so that's why it kind of has a slightly different feel to it. Okay? Awesome. Thank you, Carol. Good stuff.
My name's Katrina, and I'm an attorney who's advising J Medicals, and so more about where all the information is stored.
Okay, perfect. Well, welcome. And by the way, my name is Fred, and no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just teasing you there. Good stuff. Sherry O.
I'm Sherry-Lynn, and I work with Fremont County Council part-time, and I also help Adilas do whatever they need help with.
Awesome. Sherry is part of the official Adilas team, and we welcome her. Might be hearing from her as well a little bit today. Thanks, Sherry O. David.
My name's David. I've been with Adilas ever since it started. And I do the billing, marketing, whatever needs to be done. Thank you all for coming.
Awesome. Just so you know, Steve and David are actually brothers, just so you can kind of get an idea of what the relationship is right there on those guys. David is deaf. He has a cochlear implant, and so just make sure you turn towards him and talk to him so he can read your lips. But he actually can hear a little bit through the cochlear implant. It bypasses the whole eardrum. It's kind of cool technology. So good stuff. Awesome. Dana, you got a crew back there. Let's have wherever you guys would like to start back there in the Dana crew.
My name is Matt. I work at Fremont County Canvas, and I basically do all the tracking and transfers, and try and keep things in line.
Okay, cool. Great, Matt. We're glad you were here yesterday as well. Thank you.
We're really fortunate for this guy because he has a degree. What's your degree?
Applied mathematics.
Oh, wow.
We accepted his grade and he I apologize, I lost my voice, so I can't talk as well. But my name's Evelyn, and I've been with Fremont County Canvas for a little over a year. And I just work for Dana and Josh. And I've been using Adilas since they started, and just
Okay, great.
my name's Sierra. I work with Evelyn in the shop. We pretty much run the dispensary, the actual shop part, so we use Adilas on a daily basis.
Perfect. That's wonderful.
My name's Dana. My family owns Fremont County Cannabis, so Josh and I run it for them. We and can't really take on that giant task, so we do it together.
I'm Josh. I work with Matt mostly on the grow side, tracking and stuff like that. We're all just here to learn all the different sides back in.
Perfect. Josh, I think me and you have to connect a little later today. And so Josh made some phone calls and some ideas, and just to kind of put it out there, he has some ideas on some packaging concepts that we are going to try to implement. And so, Josh, we'll see if we can't get together on that a little bit, okay? Awesome, awesome. We do have a number of folks online as well. We won't do any necessarily introductions, but we have a number of them, and they will be popping in and out depending on what's going on. But that's kind of our general flavor. So yesterday, we kind of covered what we kind of call operations portion. I'm going to switch to a graphic right here just to kind of show you kind of roughly what we were doing yesterday. Yesterday, I'm going to get my marker out just to kind of briefly kind of show us. We talked a lot about parts, okay? These are your general inventory items. We also briefly talked about invoices, and we also talked about lightly on customers or patients, and we also spent quite a bit of our time right over here on the PO portion. This is kind of getting some of the main pieces into the system to play with different things, okay? This little graphic right here actually shows our 12 main players. What we do inside of Adilas is we kind of mix and blend a lot. We actually allow you to kind of like connect things together to make things happen. I'm going to switch to a map and kind of do a light review of what we did yesterday, and then we're going to jump right back in, okay? So this is kind of what we're going to call kind of our core shot, which is basically a world, and if you looked at the core of it, you always start from your home page, and then you go out to sub-home pages, and then you go out to like some of the different special searching features, and then you actually go out to the physical data. Like everything is organized in kind of this radial core shot type motion, okay? Right here underneath the map, what we did yesterday, once again I'm going to kind of get my marker out just to kind of show you. We decided that we wanted to eventually get something into our general inventory pool. And you'll see that this is kind of in the heart of the application. It's right here in the middle. Well, you can't just make something happen automatically in the middle. So what we did is we basically said, we need to follow a path. A vendor usually creates a PO to help us get something into this general inventory pool. Okay? That's kind of the general path of things that come in. As we sell things, your customers, your patients, whatever, they come in, they interact through a shopping cart, and we either invoice or quote them in order to kind of get things out of the general inventory pool. Does that kind of make sense, how those are the different flows that kind of happen in a business? So what we're going to do is briefly, let's just kind of see if we can review a little bit about what we did yesterday. I'm hoping to spend literally 20 minutes, and then we're going to be right on to new subjects, okay? We're going to briefly cover just some of these incoming pieces and outgoing pieces, see if we can kind of do it in a 20-minute segment, all righty? Okay, so what we're going to do is yesterday we were logged in under a play site called Bob Marley, or basically it's kind of a MMJ shop that's kind of a play site, so we can kind of go in and play with it. When you come to your main login, let's pretend that we're actually clear at the main Adilas.biz website. When you go to your login, you're going to click on go to login page. Once you come here, it'll ask for your corp key. Now this is fairly new. This is literally within probably the last week or so that this was actually even added to the system. What happens there is basically in order for us to determine which server we're actually going to be sending you to, we have to know which world you virtually want to go and play in, okay? So right here off to the side where you see universe level and world level, we don't know where you're coming in from until you tell us, and then we can get you into your world and let you play from there, okay? So right here you can either enter what's called a corp key ID or an alias. There's a brand new way that you can actually create an alias, or virtually like your own little username. If you don't want to remember the 3-digit code, a dash, and then the numeric, you can actually create your own alias type thing, okay? We're going to use one called Cannabis. And what I'm going to do right here is instead of having you guys logging in and following along, I'm going to do the quick demo, and then later on as we get into it, we'll let you guys log in as well so that you can kind of do some stuff. This is brand new. So I logged in with the first part that says, hey, I'm heading towards the play site called Bob Marley, kind of our health and wellness center, okay? This is brand new. If you want to and you want to skip that step, there's actually a brand new little piece right here that actually shows you the entire web address that you can actually program into your computer and save it as what's called a favorite or a virtual login, and it will allow you to skip that first part. What it is right here. Like this is a little bit technical, but watch. the Corp Key ID is actually technically programmed right into the end of the link, and so we automatically know which world we're actually sending you to. So that's a quick way to do it. So instead of saying, oh man, I have to do my Corp Key ID, hit enter, and then I do my username and my password.
So anytime I watch this, the card is the coolest thing.
That's okay. That's just it's the reverb, if you will, of the GoToMeeting session. She'll just mute it right there. That was kind of interesting. Okay, so basically I just wanted to show you that. That is brand new. We added that just literally a couple days ago, making an alias so that you didn't have to remember like a big old long Corp Key ID. Just to show you the difference, watch this right here. If I reset this page, and I realize I'm taking a small divergence, but I wanted to show you this. The Adilas Corp Key is something like this. ADI, it's the first three letters of our corporation name, a dash 0022, okay? That is our Corp Key ID. It pulls me in, and it actually adds my little piece right here. We also have an alias. This makes it really easy. We decided, you know what, we want to be able to type this instead, ADILAS, hit continue. It lets me into the exact same corporation. It's basically called an alias, okay, for your Corp Key ID. It's brand new, and I can show you how to set that, but it's in your corp-wide settings underneath your corporation information. That's where you get to set that little piece. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go into the Canvas site so we can kind of do our little walkthrough. Just one second. So I'm going to go under Bob Marley. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit enter. So they have a custom little page which is called the MM Dispensary homepage. Yesterday we told you that you have your chooser, and you can have lots and lots of different options as far as like what you want your default to be as far as your interface. What this does is it's kind of like there's tons of tools in the toolbox, but you get to kind of choose what your interface looks like so that you can more readily get at those tools. So yesterday what we did is we brought in some new things called a lighter. I'm just going to quickly do a search just to kind of show you an item that we brought in. Okay. Up in my quick search I set it to item, which is basically your part section, LIGH, and we'll go down and check it out. We added this one right here. We created a vendor called Moose Business because we happen to be in the Moose Lodge. We thought it was kind of fun. And we created a generic item called a lighter, and it has a little barcode right here. We currently have 73 of them in stock, okay? We created this as a generic item. So technically, it's under the vendor called Moose Business. But we also said, hey, let's use a special PO, and we can get this from any vendor that we want. Now, I know that we have a whole bunch of vendors in here. What we're going to do is we're going to add a new PO, and we're going to actually assign it to 7-Eleven. Say we're going to get some more lighters from 7-Eleven. Say we're running out, and that's not enough because we know that it's going to be a very busy day or something, okay? Maybe we wanted to get 25 new lighters. So I'm going to go like this. Select vendor from my quick search, and I'm going to go 7, as if I'm going to go to 7-Eleven. It pulls up all of my ones that have 7 in it. Here's my 7-Eleven, and I'm going to hit Create PO. Okay, and I'm going to actually turn this into a special live because it's going to have mixed vendors on it. And I'm going to assign this right to my dispensary, and I'm going to kind of put, got more lighters. I'm going to come down, and I'm going to say that they actually charged us $25 for all of these new lighters we're going to get. And they gave us an invoice number. I don't know what that is. And I'm going to say, yes, they are in my possession. So this is basic PO information. Add the PO. So now I have this little thing right here. 642 Denver Dispensary, 7-Eleven is my main vendor. Okay. Right here, automatically it's like, hey, let's help you search. And it says 7-Eleven, and then what? I actually don't want to go to 7-Eleven. I wanted to go to the Moose. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down and say Moose Business, and I'm looking for the part number called LIGH, a lighter from them. Here's my lighters. Here's what I've got, and I'm going to say add that as a basic item. Click. Comes in, and I'm going to say, hey, I got 25 of those, and guess what? They actually cost me $1. And you can whatever your description is, that's fine, and you just say add the item. So at this point, I now have a $25 PO that has 25 at $1 for the lighters, and I've now incremented my inventory. If I actually go to my lighters right now, I'm expecting to see close to 100 on stock, okay? So I'll go to my lighters, close to 100, 98 right now. We just added 25 new ones. It was that easy, okay? That's basically how we did that. So let's pretend now that we're going to sell these things, kind of the other part. So a customer comes in and wants to buy a bunch of these lighters. I'm going to start from my home page here, and I'm just going to basically say, there's lots of different ways. If you're actually doing patient stuff, lots of times you'll assign a patient to your item. It's not required. So let's just pretend that Joe Blow came off the street and he's like, hey, I went to 7-Eleven, they're all out of lighters. And we're like, oh yeah, we bought them from them. So they needed to buy some too, okay? So watch this. We're just going to say, hey, let's actually create a quick new invoice. I'm just going to go new. And we're going to do a counter sale. We're not even worried about who this person is. From the Denver dispensary, and I'm going to create a counter sale. So no patient or no customer is going to be assigned. Start the cart. I'm right here. LIGH. Click it. That's a basic generic search, okay? I could have used the barcode if I wanted to, but right now, here's my lighters. I have 98 of them, and I'm going to say, okay, cool. Tell you what, I'll sell you 10 of those because I'm going to keep a bunch of them on stock because I know it's going to be busy. Add it to the cart. It pulls it in as a taxable value, adds $4.05 for tax, and I literally can go right here and hit checkout, and now I figure out how I'm going to pay. So how did you pay for that? Oh, I did a check. No problem. $54.05. And you just change this to check, and then you put the check number in and create the invoice. Click. So now technically, here's my invoice. If I wanted to, I could hit print, and we'll just send it right to this little printer right here, just to kind of show you how it would work. And if you just have this at your retail counter, you won't have all these other printers. I have a number of printers hooked up to my computer just for playing purposes, but normally on your retail counter, you'll just have one and it'll be your default, so it'll be really easy. And we'll hit print. So basically,
I got a question.
Yes.
Can you go back and show how to add
how to add what?
another product?
Okay, perfect. Yes, yes, yes. So we
Since I'm
just
closer.
we just did our invoice right here, and I have this little teeny receipt. Okay, just kind of kicked it out of the receipt drawer. Anita's question was, oh my goodness, after the fact, this is now left cart mode. When it's in cart mode, it's real flexible. I can add, edit, delete, remove, change quantities. I can do all kinds of stuff, and it never hits the database. As soon as I leave the cart mode, it clears that. You can only have one cart at a time. But Anita's like, oh no, what if I really needed to add something new to this product, okay? Another product that we added yesterday was a glasses carrying case, okay? So let's pretend for a second that we actually need to modify this. This is still our invoice right now, 1420, okay? That's the invoice number. Now right here, I'm currently on a page called the printable invoice, and you can see I don't have any sort of links as far as like to get in and change anything. I need to get into edit mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to edit line items. Click on edit line items. I'm now in the invoice, and I'm going to come down here. What I wanted to do is show you this particular page. Let me, I'm going to back up just one quick second. This is the printable page, and I'm going to go like this, just so you can kind of get an idea of the whole page. I zoomed way out. Here's the main, here's the line item, and here's the payments. Okay, I'm going to go to the edit line items page, just so you can kind of still see it in the same version. Okay, this is the same invoice. Here's the main, here's the line item, here's my payments, and look at this. Here's a new form for adding and editing line items, and here's a new form for adding and editing payments, okay, from the edit page. Just wanted to kind of show you what it looked like from kind of a zoomed out view.
Okay.
Basically, I'm now in this one here, and I come down, and I'm going to say add a new item by searching pieces, and I'm going to say carrying case, okay. There's my carrying case, and I'm going to say add it as a line item. Click. So right now, it already knows that 1420 is where it's headed, okay, towards that invoice. It's going to come from the Denver dispensary, and I'm going to say quantity of 1. My cost was 25 bucks. My price is 40, and this is what we put for our description. It's not a very good one, but we put pretty, and we're going to call it taxable. And I have this little box here, so it'll actually calculate these things automatically once I hit submit.
Okay.
We'll hit add the new line item. Okay, so now technically I'm way off. My total should be 97, but I had it originally recorded for 54. Okay, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Watch this. What we'll do to fix this, I'm going to go to edit main, and right here down where the price is, it'll actually say, here's the sum of your line items. And so I'll basically just add that in. 97.29. Now people have asked us, why don't you automatically update that? Well, here's the thing. We don't know when you're done. Okay? So what we do is we virtually say, okay, I'm going to on purpose break, okay? do whatever you need, and then circle back around and fix me, plug me back in when I'm all done. People have asked us, like, why don't you automatically update that? If we automatically updated it, you would never know if you were actually ever out, if that makes sense, okay? So on purpose, we kind of disconnect that piece. Okay, so 9729, edit, boom. Awesome, so now I'm really happy. I got 97. Check this out. You still owe me $43.24. How would I handle this? The cart's done. Here's their first invoice right here, okay? We just added a new carrying case, and this might not be the scenario, but they wanted to add it to the same invoice, okay? How would I put in a new payment? What do you guys think? How would I put in a new payment? Technically, they still owe me $43. Okay, correct. Right here on this invoice, you just scroll down, and you go to the payment section, and you make sure it's in the add mode, and you add a new payment. Okay? Cool. So what we'll do is we'll basically say $43.24, and how did they pay for this one? Cash, check, whatever it might be. Cash on this one? No problem. You just go like this, add the payment. So what we have now is, watch this, we're still in the edit line items page. We have $97 for our main. We have a total sum of $97 for all of our line items. And now we have two payments that resulted in a total of $97, and they currently owe me $0. Okay? So we create these things called one-to-many relationships. And if you guys can realize that, when we start talking with clients and patients today and we show you all the one-to-many relationships, it'll help you understand what's going on. But that's dealing with an invoice after the fact, if that makes sense, okay? Yeah. Cool, that was a great question. Thank you, Anita. Any other questions? We kind of went start to finish, okay? Check this out. We came back here to, I'll show you from here first, okay? We basically said this. We have an item that we know is called a lighter. We have a vendor that we know is called Moose. We have a PO that we wanted to create to connect these things so that we can get everything into our inventory system. We then had a customer come in, but we didn't assign it to an invoice, and we said, okay, you guys connect, and guess what? You're going to pull from our parts department. Does that make sense how we did some of this? And eventually we got a couple payments on this invoice that eventually will circle out over here when we're all done with the day. Can you guys kind of see how things start flowing and connecting all these relationships? It's very important. It's very important. I'm going to do one more little drawing to show you on the map what happened, okay? The exact same thing that we just did. We had lighters, okay? We created a new PO, and we brought new lighters into the system. Our inventory went up, okay? It went up. We then had the customer come in through the shopping cart, through the invoice. We grabbed an item. Our inventory just went down on the invoice, okay? Later on, after we were done with the shopping cart, we modified this a little bit to do some additional pieces, and now we have that going on, okay? That's what we were doing the whole process, but the whole thing was all done along this bottom line, if you will, of the map of the different pieces of the puzzle.